With the pandemic and all its rules and restrictions in full swing, many are staying at home. As a result, many users work or study from home. The demand for tablets has now grown compared to just a few years back. However, there are a lot of tablets out there, but which ones are worth the spend? Let us find out in this video, where we look at the best tablets you can buy in 2020.
And although it's not enough.
We will not be having any categories like a smartphone's buyer's guide, which you can check it out at the card on the top right corner. Instead, this will be a list of decent tablets that you can buy in the order of price from lowest to highest. With that out of the way, let us begin looking at some great offerings. Of late, Xiaomi has not produced a proper successor to the Mi Pad 4 series yet, but there are still some decent tablets. For light to moderate users, this tablet is just great. The device is powered by the still capable Snapdragon 660 chipset with 3 or 4 GB of RAM and storage options ranging from 32 to 128 GB. The Mi Pad 4 has an 8-inch display, whereas the 4 Plus has a 10.1-inch display. The battery life should not be disappointing either. The 4 getting a big for its size 6000 mAh battery and the 4 Plus getting an 8620 mAh battery, which charges via the Type-C port. The only big downsides to these devices are that it is not easy to find in most places, and also the software is still on Android 8.1, which is not too old but not new either. If you like the Mi Pad 4 Plus but found its cons outweighing the pros, then the Galaxy Tab A7 10.4 is a great choice. This Samsung made tablet definitely delivers for casual lightweight users and even for those who do light casual gaming. The tablet has a 10.4-inch display, which is slightly bigger than the Mi Pad 4 Plus. Powering it all is a Snapdragon 662 along with 3 GB of RAM and 32 or 64 GB of storage. The battery capacity is 7040 mAh, which is not big for its size but not underwhelming either. Again, finding the device might be easy or hard depending on where you live. Overall, this is a great tablet with fairly up-to-date software for not a lot of cash. If you like the Tab A7 10.4 but hope for a bit more power for not a lot of extra, then the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite is definitely the better option. It has a more powerful Exynos 9611 with 4GB of RAM and 64 or 128GB of storage. Another perk of the device is that this will receive 3 years of software support, which is great for a device that is not so expensive. The other aspects are great too. The display is still 10.4 inches and the battery capacity is also similar at 7040 mAh. If you want to go towards the Apple camp without breaking the bank and also don't mind buying an older yet still capable iPad, then the iPad Pro 2 is a great deal. The biggest highlight is that 10.5 or 12.9-inch ProMotion 120Hz display, which will definitely make a difference in day-to-day usage. The specs are also fairly decent for 2020, an Apple A10X Fusion chipset along with 4GB of RAM and storage options of 64, 256 and 512GB. The only big catch is that while it has iPadOS 14 for now, it might not receive a lot more updates. Still, if that is not a concern and you still want a capable performer for less, then this iPad will definitely fit your needs. If you want a more recent device than the iPad Pro 2 without spending more cash, then the iPad 10.2 is a great option. While it lacks that 120Hz display, it makes up for it with the Apple A12 Bionic chipset, which is still an excellent performer, along with 3GB of RAM and 32 or 128GB of storage. Software wise too, it is running the latest iPadOS 14.1 out of the box. The battery life should not be an issue either, given the power efficient components used here. Samsung is only the proper competitor to Apple in the tablet space, but sometimes their offerings can be quite expensive. If you want a tablet with the Samsung look and feel and slightly toned down specs but pay less, then the Galaxy Tab S5e is a great option. The high-res Super AMOLED display is gorgeous to look at. The Snapdragon 670 is still a solid mid-range chipset, which is paired with either 4 or 6 GB of RAM and 64 or 128 GB of storage. While it ran Android 9.0 out of the box, it can be updated to One UI 2.5 on top of Android 10. Battery life from the 7040 mAh battery is great as well. If you are looking on the Windows 10 tablet offerings but want a decent enough tablet for less, then the Lenovo Ideapad D330 might be a good option. Display wise, we are looking at a 10.1-inch HD LCD display. The specs are not the most powerful out there even for a moderate user. The Intel Celeron N4000 chipset is not really a great performer, and paired with 4GB of RAM, this combination of specs and RAM is best suited for lightweight users. However, this runs Windows 10, which can be a big plus for many users. Battery life too should be great given the power efficient components here. Lenovo claims that you can get around 12 hours of usage out of this device. If you are a lightweight user who wants a quality Windows tablet for the least possible price and are willing to face the sacrifices, then this is a great option. If the Ideapad does not seem powerful enough and want something better for just a bit of extra, then the Surface Go is the way to go. No pun intended. We get a better 10-inch 1800 by 1200p LCD display which has an aspect ratio of 3:2 and a pixel density of 217 ppi. The Intel Pentium Gold 4415Y is not a great performer either, but it is much better than the underpowered Intel Celeron N4000 processor, along with 4 or 8GB of RAM depending on your configuration, along with 64GB eMMC storage or 128GB SSD. Microsoft claims that the device will last around 8 to 9 hours on video playback, which is not bad for a tablet of this size. The iPad Air series of tablets are well known for their sleek design, and this iPad Air 3rd generation is no exception. The 10.5-inch display is solid, and the A12 Bionic chipset is still a solid performer as well. You get the device in 3GB of RAM along with 64 or 256GB of storage. While it comes with iOS 12.1 out of the box, it currently runs on the latest iPadOS 14.1, with it being supported for at least 2 or 3 more years. The 8134 mAh battery should last long too. Overall, if you want a fairly recent iPad without breaking the bank, then the iPad Air 3 is a great choice. The Tab S6 was a major upgrade over the Tab S4, their previous flagship tablet. While the specs are not the best of 2020, they still hold up really well. The 10.5-inch Super AMOLED display, the still snappy Snapdragon 855 along with 6 or 8GB of RAM and 128 or 256GB of storage. The 7040 mAh battery should last you a decent amount of time. Overall, if you want a slightly cheaper last-gen flagship Android tablet, then the Tab S6 is not a bad option. While the Tab S6 was already great, the Tab S7 series improved on it quite nicely. Both the Tab S7 and the S7 Plus support a 120Hz display with HDR10 Plus support, though the S7 has an 11-inch LCD, whereas the S7 Plus has a 12.4-inch Super AMOLED panel. They also share the same processor, the Snapdragon 865 Plus, along with 6 or 8GB of RAM, along with 128, 256 and 512GB options. They also have different battery capacities, 8000 mAh on the Tab S7 and a massive 10090 mAh battery on the Tab S7 Plus. Overall, if you want the best of Android with the beefiest specs, then you cannot go wrong with either of these. Now we head on to the more expensive side of things. While the iPad Pro 3 is not the latest flagship iPad, it is still more than capable for any task you throw at it. The 120Hz display coupled with the still powerful A12X Bionic chipset makes for a great performance combo. It is offered in 4 or 6GB of RAM along with 64, 256, 512GB or 1TB options. There are two variants of the iPad Pro 3rd Gen, one with an 11-inch display and the other with a 12.9-inch display. Both are identical except for the screen size and resolution along with battery capacity, which are 7812 for the 11-inch model and 9720 for the 12.9-inch model. If you want the best of the best from Apple as of now, then the iPad Pro 4th Gen series are a great choice. With the tried and tested 120Hz display, along with the still really powerful Apple A12Z Bionic chipset, along with 6GB of RAM as standard, paired with 128, 256, 512GB or 1TB storage options, the iPad Pro 2020 series are just going to deliver a lot of performance. As with the iPad 2019 series, the 2020 series has also got two models with two differences: screen size and resolution, along with the battery capacities, which are 7585 on the 11-inch model and 9720 for the 12.9-inch model. That's it for this video. If you have a better tablet option, feel free to suggest it down in the comment section below. Also, if you're still around, like the video and make sure to subscribe and turn on notification with the bell icon so you won't miss our upcoming uploads.